In Batgirl Year 1, Barbara Gordon just failed to apprehend Killer Moth. She would then be confronted by Batman and Robin as Batman asks her what is she even supposed to be. But Robin tells Batman he could handle her as she's just a girl. But that pisses Batgirl off, and as Robin runs up, Batgirl puts him down. But as Batgirl and Robin go at it, Killer Moth circles back in his helicopter, attempting to spray the bats with a hailstorm of bullets from his machine gun. Batman and Robin dodge the gunfire, while Barbara Gordon retreats into the woods. But as she leaves, Robin is actually hoping to see her again in the future. Now Robin would actually get his wish, as later when he would rendezvous with Jim Gordon, he would actually say hi to Barbara. But Jim pushes Barbara away, telling Boy Wonder not on his life. Later that night, as Barbara would return home, she'd have to get past the bars on her window. Now as one of the officers does a welfare check on Barbara, she quickly rushes to the door before he can call in that she's not home. Having quelled anyone's suspicions, feeling pretty exhilarated, she would change clothes and actually sleep very well that night. The next day, Jim Gordon would wake her up as he doesn't want her to sleep the day away. He would tell her about everything that went down at the $1 Million Masquerade, as well as the female crime fighter that stopped Killer Moth. Luckily, he doesn't seem to know Barbara is Batgirl. But elsewhere, at Mr. Brossetti's crime warehouse, Killer Moth would attempt to appeal to him, letting him know he could offer protection for a price. Killer Moth pulls out this moth signal, and he tells him whenever he's in trouble, just shine this signal and he'll show up with all the firepower he needs. Now Mr. Brossetti thinks this idea is dumb as dog shit, and him and his goons kick Killer Moth out on his ass. But elsewhere, as Batman meets up with Jim Gordon, Jim is having trouble tracking Killer Moth, so he asks Batman if he has any leads. Batman asks Jim if he was expecting 3 of them, but luckily, Jim is still getting used to Batman and Robin. Batman goes on to tell Jim that the girl from yesterday has nothing to do with him. She has her own agenda, and she does, as we see Batgirl taking down some criminals attempting to rob a store. But as one of the criminals attempts to shoot Batgirl with a shotgun, she quickly dodges and then runs into an aisle filling a bag with several cans. Barbara would then hop out the shadows and take that bag to this criminal's face. But back at the house of Killer Moth, he's wondering how he could have been beaten by Batgirl. He also wonders why there's suddenly so many bats in town and how things could get any worse. But Killer Moth subsequently receives a knock on the door from some goons he happens to owe some money to on behalf of Mr. Brossetti. These goons beat the shit out of Killer Moth. They tell him they'll be back for the money he owes. But elsewhere, in the room of Barbara Gordon, as she stitches up her costume, she thinks to herself that Batman must be rich. How else could he afford all this extra shit?